Welcome to the City Council meeting, City of Mayflower, March 26, 2024. Call to order this meeting. First on the agenda, would you join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Barbara, will you call the roll, please?
Jennifer Massey, Mark Hickman, Zach Jeffrey.
Here.
Cal Mark, Jack Paul.
Here. Thank you. Do we have any presentations? None are listed on our agenda. Move to the next agenda item, approval of the minutes. Barbara?
Can we do that without a quorum?
Oh, well, Kyle is going to be here in just a moment, so let's hold off. That's right. Bear with us. Kyle, another councilman, is on his way. He'll be here in just a few minutes for us to reach a quorum so that we can vote. Okay. Well, if that's the case, let's move on into the general. Raymond, you're up. On the agenda, another water line bypass at the Highway 89 South Bridge. Raymond, would you just kind of clarify for everyone's behalf in terms of where exactly this is? That's past Bates and on around, right? That's past Bates? No, he's talking about on out, like you're going out
Like the
city of.
Slab Bridge? Gotcha. Not the culvert before Bates.
That's right.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. It's,
Gotcha.
at the beginning of that bridge is where our city limit sign is. That's where our city limits stops. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Well, Raymond, if it came down to a requirement of the city to bore, why can't we negotiate an open trench? Because the lake is going. Oh, absolutely, yes.
Especially through that area. That area is going to stay there.
Yeah.
Well,
It'll never completely drain.
it would be.
So talking about 800 feet, Randy, where would the bypass start and stop in relation to the bridge? On each. each side of the bridge, you're talking about each side of that levee there? Like from that house on the corner to the hill on the east side?
Right now, currently, it's on the north side of the bridge, correct? Would the new one proposed, is it going to be paralleling the existing on the north side?
That way you could tie into those mains if need be.
We will. But we're going to be going after a grant for this.
Where we're not on the hook for that.
Exactly.
Since we have a main running through there now, is there an easement already doing its hours? Highway right away?
The current one, or existing
Yeah,
one.
that steep road that it's. I know that main's not far off the road in that ditch by that corner house. I drove that out. On the east side of the lake. I know we have people on the east side, but we don't go very far further east, do we? Up to the top of the hill facility.
So we provide all of that area on the north side. That's where our main, is that you said a 6-inch or 4-inch? 6-inch, it goes all the way to the, forward, okay.
We don't go past Clinton Road. Is that what you're saying? Well Valley and all those.
On Clinton Road, didn't some company put a water line out?
North Pulaski Water or something.
Right. Okay. Well, it's something that Raymond mentioned this some time ago, and then this has come back up. I'm glad that he brought this up. This is something that we need to start taking care of, making preparations for down the road. And again, that's going to be not quite $1 million, but by the time we get to it, probably with inflation and everything else, it may be over $1 million. Yeah, within the next couple of years, yeah. So it's probably less cost involved when the lake is down as low as it would get, rather than when it's up. Yeah. All right, Raymond, thank you so much for bringing that up.
I'm good.
Thank you, Raymond. Thanks. All right, we now have a quorum, right? All right, let's jump back up to approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the February 27th, 2024 meeting.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Do we need to take a roll call on this? Okay. All right. All in favor, a voice vote, all in favor of approval of minutes from council meeting February 27th, 2024, indicate by aye. Aye. All opposed, by same. Thank you. Ayes have it. Then we move to the financial statement, February 2024. Do I hear a motion for approval? Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, thank you. Same voice vote? On the financial, yes. Barbara, would you mind calling the roll for a vote, please?
Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
JP,
Yes.
Kyle Mark,
Yes. I have to vote. Yes. Thank you. All right, going back to general, we have, I don't know if you saw in the paper or on the TV, last Monday was a press conference involving several agencies and more specifically involved our police department, our police chief and our officers. And I asked Chief Hunter if he would come today. This is in regard to Operation Early Harvest. Chief, would you come up and give us an overview of that program?
I've given each one of you a package that has some of this information in there. The first piece on this regarding Operation Early Harvest was a combined effort between U.S. Marshal's Office, Faulkner County Sheriff's Office, Office of State Police, the Mayflower Police Department, and the Federal Prosecutor's Office. Probation and parole was also involved. Mayflower Police Department put a total of 91 man-hours into this operation, including March 11th, which was a training day. Get our guys embedded with the other teams and some one-on-one training with the other agencies as to how it was going to be conducted. March 12th through the 15th was the actual operation. And our guys worked as an independent unit during this. Some of the things kind of fluid during the operation, the changes had to be made. During the event, we ended up arresting a total of 8 people with 12 different charges. Most of these were Mayflower warrants. There were some new charges that were developed as part of this. We had 3 FTA warrants that were served, 3 FTP warrants, failure to pay warrants, 1 failure to comply warrant, 1 arrest for possession of firearm by a certain person who was felon, possession of drug paraphernalia, fleeing. Each of those have 1 count. And we have 1 trafficking of controlled substance that was killed. That was going to be a class 5 felony. And I understand this is the next second or third offense, so it's a long time. And there was also 1 parole violation. During this, we documented the hours of U.S. Marshal Service as part of this agreement. Is what we reimburse the city for the month that we provided them with our hourly rate. So the city's basically out secure for this bill. You have that. If there's any questions that you've seen or not, if you'd like to know about it, feel free to reach out to me. That's a basic overview of what the operation was. The guys put in a lot of hard work with the training and service. So I was proud that they got to spend time together and working together in a larger group of 2 or 3 more than normally do.
Any questions? First of all, I'd like to say thank you, Chief, and all of you guys. And I say our lady officers aren't here, but we want to thank all of you, not only for this, but every day that you're out there. You're protecting us, and we appreciate that. I think it goes, we don't do enough of saying thank you to you guys, but I just wanted to openly, tell you how much we thank you and appreciate what you do for all of us. If anybody's around my home or whatever, I don't sleep much. I'm up all during the night. And I see all of our patrolmen constantly going up and down the streets and in our neighborhoods with the lights on. And basically, you're there to hopefully deter the theft and other activities, and we appreciate all that you do. I think sometimes we lose sight since we don't see you every 10 minutes, that we feel like you're not there, but you are, and we appreciate that. I just want to. Yes, sir, please. That's the police activity report.
This is, it's kind of an activity report, but I've had some questions come up recently regarding our patrol activities and why we're in certain areas, and I wanted to address that. And so if y'all have any questions that I can help you with at this time, maybe alleviate some of the apprehension about why we're in certain places. This is a brief overview of what we came up with to give you the information. The bullet points on this, I think, I'm gonna assume that everybody knows that there's been issues with us being on the interstate at times, and there's also been, comments about us working on the bypass area just a little bit much. So this is gonna, with the PowerPoint, embedded information in there, provide statistics, data that you haven't maybe seen before. I think we can alleviate some of the tension. The first bullet point on this is, do officers spend too much time on I-40 with the bypass? The answer to that is, over the last 12 months, there's been 2,376 tickets or warnings issued in the city. 55 of those were on I-40, and 63 of them were on the bypass. Together, that's a total of 4% of the citations. That's a pretty low number for those two areas. How can we patrol the neighborhoods when,
Excuse me, Chief.
yes,
I want to make sure that I understand this correctly. You're saying here that over the last 12 months, there have been 2,372 tickets or warnings written in the city limits of Mayflower, right?
correct.
And then 55 on I-40 and 63 on Highway 89 bypass. Both of those for I-40 and 89 bypass, total together, those account for only 4% of all the traffic stops. Did I read that correctly?
All the citations.
That's right. So 96% of the traffic stops happened either on the city streets or the other state highway 365 within our city limits here. So basically, you're saying of the activities, only 4% of all of your tickets or warnings have been out on the new bypass or the I-40, correct? Okay, I just want to make sure that I was clear on that. Okay, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No other questions, Mr. Cobb?
Yes, and that's what I would like for the council. If you see something as we're covering that particular bullet point, please raise the question or ask for clarification so that there's no misunderstanding.
On business and property checks, I'm kind of hard on that because on property checks and businesses, as well as the neighborhoods. We pull the data from our weekly activity reports. We have 1,376 business or neighborhood extra patrols, or patrols, that have been done since January 1st of 2024. That's today. That's just this year. And for the number of guys that we've got on the street at the time, I think that's a pretty high number for what we're doing. And this is from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. You're running one check every hour here in this period of time. So even counting the day shift hours, most of these are done at night. The next bullet point is, why do we work traffic on I-40 to the bypass or other highways in the first place? Over the past 4 years, there have been 276 suspects arrested for violent crimes, thefts, and felonies, narcotic charges within Mayflower. 70% of these suspects are not in Mayflower. They come from outside this area. It's been proven that proactive policing deters crime. 70% of our suspects come into Mayflower from out of town because the presence in a high volume traffic area helps us increase. That's what we're trying to do, to show that we're out, be highly visible. If they know we're out working, if we're not sitting someplace, watching traffic, they're more likely to move on and they won't stop. We do have jurisdiction on the Winchester. We have a mutual aid agreement with Arkansas State Police. There's also a document that is signed with mutual aid with the state police when they come into office. That is called the Controlled Access Control Agreement. We have those with the state police, and it gives us jurisdiction in other states not only to enforce them, but to actually go out and control their community as it's already several times a day, BOLOs, we go to look out for vehicles, suspects, whatever they send BOLO out for. Our highest volume of traffic is within 65. Depending on what the BOLO information is, where they want us to look for that, that's a good portion of the money we got out there. There's a lot of BOLOs. And when they're sending those, they're asking other agencies to go out there for those suspects. If we don't go out there, for sure, other agencies will get those also. If they have somebody to send them, they will. If they don't, they won't. We'll say, well, if we have somebody to send out there, we will send them out there. We'll do it. If they're not going to stay out there, we'll look for it. Give them a time frame, an adequate time frame. If they're outside that, then we'll go.
Chief, let me ask you a question on a BOLO. Does that take priority?
Does it take priority?
Yes.
Not over all.
No, but what I mean though, there is some priority that's associated with having that BOLO being sent out, correct?
Some BOLOs are ordinary than
Okay.
others, and they don't require us to go out there right that second. But stolen vehicles, robbery suspects, domestic violence suspects, those are going to keep the little bit more high on the scale. Especially something that's like an active felony or something.
Okay. Just want to make sure that this is not just something that somebody ran a red light, that type of thing. There's credibility within that BOLO.
There's usually an investigative purpose or an arrest purpose behind it, so that's why they send them out there.
Thank you.
According to citydata.com, and this is available if you want to look at what they're doing, the 2020 Mayflower crime rate fell by 37% compared to 2019. And in the past 5 years, Mayflower has seen a steady decline in violent crime and a steady decline in violent crime, according to the data that they from the different resources they use. Some of those resources are FBI information and the local gas data and legal information. Moving on, vehicle damage. In the past 5 years, Mayflower officers have been involved in 85 pursuits. 5 of those pursuits, 5 of the 85, ended in property damage or damage to a vehicle during that pursuit. That ends up being 5% of the pursuits that we do. The next page on this has some information about the miles that we've driven and the number of accidents that have been occurred. Mayflower officers have had 10 accidents involving 11 vehicles after having driven roughly 1,575,000 miles over the last 5 years. So 11 accidents over 5 years comes out to 1 accident every 142,000 miles. DOT study from 2012 shows that 1 accident for every 183,000 miles is pretty normal, or twice as likely to have an accident. Police officers are twice as likely to have an accident as other folks. MPD officers, given these numbers that they have, we have been 11% less likely to have an accident while not involved in pursuit. Have we had accidents? Absolutely. Any questions there?
Chief, I've got a question about the data, and it's just a curiosity question that you may or may not know the answer to. That was that at-fault accidents, or was that a combination of at-fault accidents and pursuits?
I believe, it just total across the
Total
board.
accidents, okay, and that was, I'm just curious about that.
I believe that's a total combined average of everything inclusive, whether it was a pursuit or just a.
Is this all comparison to the other PD departments, like,
Well, some of that, I don't think I have that, JD, compared to other agencies. The only information that we gathered in there was off of that, DOT website, of what we have from our reports from our agencies. So, what else? Anything there? Y'all have, you got this in front of you, you can read it, feel free to do so. On the back side of this, there is a map right there. That is showing traffic stops, here today that have been made. There is a red dot for each traffic stop that was made. The yellow ones are the ones that are on the interstate. The rest of them are all inside on the city streets or anything out there. Flipping over to the other page, this is kind of a PowerPoint breakdown. This
Chief,
was-
Chief, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I don't want us to just broad brush the bullet points of training, community policy, policing, and policy. I think it's important for the council and our public to understand all that the training involved that you guys go through. Would you mind just kind of going over that?
I was actually gonna say he stopped short of his own accolades.
Exactly. This is something that the
Noticed
public,
that, Chief.
that- I understand, but no, I don't like to read this. I want you to, to verbally, give credit where credit's due. Please go over the training that you guys
I don't mind reading
go
ahead,
into.
Chief.
Yes,
This is what's changed since Chief Hunter
Exactly.
has started as police chief in 2022, or
I had
2026.
some of those. So, prior to 2020.
Thank you, Zach.
I know.
I wanted somebody to mention that too.
exactly. That's why I brought this up.
Exactly.
Yes.
Prior to 2020, we stayed with the state mandated 24 hours of training. There was some additional training that was gathered by individual officers throughout the year, we some of the schools and things. But the department stayed with 24 hours. I think in 18, 19, we might have brought that up to 32.
But now, you're saying, let me be clear, you're saying that the state requirement was 24 training hours per year, correct? Okay, and now what is it, based on what you have implemented?
With what we've implemented, we have a minimum of 28, because we're doing 4 hours in service every year. We've got a training calendar that our training instructors have put together. We have a different topic that goes over. We get together 1 month a month as a department and go through everything that's on the agenda for that.
You just recently had a training session of that, starting at 6 a.m. and went to 10.
We usually start early, and then we
Yes.
run from 6 to 11. If we're doing, because at that time, if we're gonna be at the range, earlier, we can still get night fire if we were at the range still.
But again, the requirement's 24 hours of training per year, and you're already at 48 hours for your workforce, correct? So you're basically doubling.
Well, that's without the mandated,
32 hours.
I'm sorry,
I'm noticing the 48 plus 32, which is 80 hours there.
correct, because there's some state mandated training. Well, I'm back up, I'm sorry, the 32 hours is what the state requires now, but we're at 48.
Gotcha.
That was my point.
But
You're way above what the basic requirements
Our
are.
48 hours does not include the additional classes that are mandated by the state.
And that was my point. So you've got your 48, which is the 4 hours times 12 months,
Yes.
plus the 32 required by the state. No, that's in,
Some of this 32 is going to be encapsulated in our 48.
Gotcha.
But there's mandated classes that are done online that officers do throughout the year. We'll set a deadline for them to take that class during the course of their shift. If they can do it on
That's fantastic.
I think that's a credit to them for putting in the effort, for the instructors taking the time to develop these classes and get them implemented. Community policing, guys, we're trying to engage the community more than we ever have. We steadily look for things that we can involve the community with and interact with them in a positive manner. I've got 4 things listed there. I shot for the cop that started well before I got here. We're continuing with that. We've done burgers and badges before. We'd like to do it again, but it was kind of costly. And we're having to get that money in transit revenue better than we did the first time. Cops and barbers, we just had it again for the 3rd year. That's a success, and all the parents have worked well out coming out doing that. We're teaming up with Special Olympics for the mid-half. We're getting involved in that area. The Share Bear Collection Drive, we do that with the Sheriff's Office every year. That leads into the Share Bear Christmas event that will take place in, where we go up to Conway and wherever they're having it at, and interact with all the kids there, and all their Christmas presents and stuff for that. And the Faith and Boy National local movement, we started trying to do that. So that's where we're at in community policing. We're still looking for things to do as time allows. With the small staff that we have, it's kind of stressful. We're not trying to really engage in longer term. Policies. I've talked to y'all before about the accreditation that I'm working towards, and we're close to that, but there are some additional policies that have to be created that we did not have prior to this. Working on those, moving forward with that. All the policies that we currently have in place are very safe and online. I'm going to work that out with Mr. Snyder so we can get the order open up to that. The public can see that with all the policies. There's 18 new policies that are currently there, but one of them took over this year. Some of them were for this purpose, for the accreditation, and others were because I saw a deficit in what we had between Arkansas Chiefs and Police Association or the International Association of Chiefs and Police. We need to fill that gap. So we're doing that and getting closer to that.
Good.
Any other questions along those lines that I can help you with?
Any questions on this presentation?
Guys, I've told each and every one of you multiple times, my door is open to y'all. You're welcome to call and come by. I'll answer questions as best I can. But I hope with some of the information that I have provided you tonight and the information that's on these documents, we can kind of move on to some of the, what other word to use other than use a turtle, or there's some of the things that have been brought to light by community members of the council. So I would like this to go to the rest. We need to do something differently than what we're doing. We can see a place where we're not doing it properly, or we're not doing it by policy. I'm absolutely willing to sit down and listen and talk to you more about it. But if we're not doing anything against policy, and someone can't show me that we're having an issue because of what we're doing, it's hard for me to overlook what the results are that we have right now and then not forget.
Absolutely. Chief, thank you so much. Are there any other questions or any other comments before I say something? I'd like to thank you for being the leader of our police department, Mayflower Police Department. I feel that we have the best police chief and best police force that Mayflower has ever had. And I'm not saying that to blow smoke. I tell everybody I think that we've got the best police department and the best fire department and the best employees. We have got a lot to be blessed for here in Mayflower. And it starts with the leadership. And I just want to personally thank you for your leadership and guidance, and thank all of you for what you do out there. I know you don't get the accolades and the thank yous that you should, but know that we're 150% behind you, and we thank you. We just, I tell everyone, I want you to go home the same way that you came in that morning, and be safe. But thank you for all you do. Again, we as a team, we're here for you. And so if there's something else that we can do to help your safety and to promote the city, please let us know. We're all in this together. Okay.
April the 29th, Axon, the people who buy our lasers from, the people that have the camera systems in our cars, Axon is bringing a new program here to us. It's going to afford us an opportunity to be on kind of the ground floor with some AI training. They update their scenarios on a regular basis so the officers can have interactive lessons that are developed outside our agency. They're going to bring this system down and show it to us. If any of the council members are available, I would love to know and make time to come by. They're going to be here. We're going to open this up to other agencies to come in here. They're going to feed us, give us drinks all afternoon, let the different officers play with the system. If any council members come, be sure I can get y'all on the headset to see that it's live. And then we'll talk about whether we can do this or not. It functions financially the same way that our TASER program does.
Okay.
It's broken down over a 5-year period.
Okay. And would you send us out, make sure that we've got
Once they
the
get me a
invitation,
time,
gets in.
they're
the
going to do a
information.
press release on this because they're opening up to other agencies throughout the state.
Good.
And once they get that information in time, they'll put it on the board.
Fantastic.
Chief, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat for just a second about an unrelated topic. I'm sure you do. I've actually spoken with Chief Toller about his end of this. Are there any additional measures that are being taken to prepare for the April 8th date and the influx of traffic and everything that's potentially coming to our area?
That was just before bringing that up. Good segue.
I've been working with Sherry Stack, Chief PIO. We have done a few things here. She's going to have more press release here in the coming days that we'll get done. The police department has purchased fuel for us to use in the event for the Shirley Jump Fuel. We've opened up some shifts, additional shifts for man-hours for the day of, and I think we'll shift the day before. We anticipate from what everybody has said that most of the people will be reported as soon as the event's over. So I didn't open up any shifts today. We've got accommodations for the guys, as far as food, and someplace to rest if they need to. We don't anticipate a large number of people usually in the city limits. Most of ours is going to be traveling someplace.
So we're doing, to correspond with what Chief said, we're actually doing a multi-agency press release that rolls out with Judge Dotson and I tomorrow morning. We'll be on the morning breakfast show. And then tomorrow evening, the comprehensive press release goes out. That full press release, it's several pages long. It details how citizens should prepare across the whole county. We're recommending citizens go ahead and ensure that their gas tanks are full, they have their groceries, they have their medicine starting April 4th, and that you have enough to last you through April 10th to April 11th, just in case scenarios. In addition to that press release with safety tips and preparation tips, it's also linking citizens across the county to every city page that either has events. So for example, some of the colleges have links on there as well. Conway has an Eclipse Devoted page. I've spoken to Mayor and he's worked with me a little bit to ensure that we get some stuff on the Mayflower page because the Mayflower City page is linked on there as well. So that's a multi-agency effort across the whole county in conjunction with Judge Dotson to kind of roll out. They have turned on, from a traffic standpoint, they're turning on and monitoring the traffic cameras starting April 4th. Influx coming in from I-40, passing Mayflower area and coming into the county that way, as well as influx coming into the county from the west side and the north side borders too. And they're putting up scrolling signs with some information basic to the county and safety and so forth across all the borders. So that's kind of it.
Thank you. And
Can you leave out our handwriting on waivers?
Good. And we were also, I was going to talk to James about, we want to make sure that we get your website or your press release linked to us so that we can, anyone who goes to our city website will be seeing that. Also, I'll be giving you information. What we don't have any formal city gatherings or entertainment, this type of thing. What we did is we reached out in our community, the Schaefers, they're having a large events out there. The Pumpkin Patch, more people know it by just the term Pumpkin Patch. Also, Rusty Waters down south. What is his station? Stonehill Ranch. He's also planning for events and that type of thing. That's where the Chuck Wagon events years past was held. So he's planning something. So we're advertising those in terms of what is going to be focused entertainment around Mayflower. And then as Chief has said, we're going to publicize some things that we're trying to do. Basically bullet points on that.
From the county judge's standpoint, one of the biggest things we talked about in those meetings, central to Mayflower is one is obviously we're catching the traffic influx coming on this border. But two is the concern over fuel.
Yes.
Because you are that first stop coming in
Yes.
as a fuel stop.
And we have limited fuel facilities here. Another issue was that we had talked about in terms of restaurants and so on and so forth, food. That seems to probably is going to be a problem as well. So, this is a lot of this is the unknown. They're speculating what could and couldn't happen. So we're just going to try to ride through and make sure that people are safe. We've got some real horror stories out there that could happen in terms of just basic gridlock. Through our area, it's reported, excuse me, that we're going to be seeing somewhere around 4 minutes of total darkness. Then on out Russellville area, that is a full 8 minutes darkness. So we're anticipating a lot of people through here. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see, but it's just a huge unknown at this point in time. Thank you guys
Thank you.
again. All right, next on the agenda is any old business. If not, public comments. Ace Parker and Kelly Thompson, activities out at the city park. Ace, Kelly? Good. Please state your name and the reason why you're interested. Our city park, yes. This was last Saturday, correct? So 30-plus vendors have already, yes. Okay, well, Ace and I have talked about this. I've met him out at the park, and I've already identified some other areas that we can go into. I'm gonna get Jimmy Joe to come out and put some not shell, but screens on, and we're gonna make I think we said, estimated somewhere between 12 and 15 more spots that you could do that. Yeah, well, that's good. One thing that I'd like for you to address, I want to make sure people understand, it's called Picking in the Park as well as the Farmers Market. What the vision was when we first started putting the infrastructure in the park for water and for electricity is to have an area that we could come, bring people in and have the infrastructure that would carry that. Obviously, we've got the bathrooms over there. But tell us a little bit about the food vendors. You've got food vendors plus the crafts, plus was there anybody that was bringing produce? We want to make sure that we get that word out.
They got some starter plants, because it's not like produce going out now.
Okay,
But they have a bunch of starter plants and stuff like that. Like we got, but we got-
Some.
We have some that are gonna come in the next Saturday. They just, they're just trying to get stuff going.
good.
Like I said, there's no charge for these spots or anything, and they really do appreciate that. I mean, we had one, which made stuff come on, and we just considered them as a vendor, a booth, and
Yes.
Keep the freezer and everything in there. They have their own generator and everything, so, just, choke eggs and corn oil.
Yeah.
Mayor, on the food, just on the food vendors, that we waived our permit fees for this
Yes.
particular.
And that's what I was going to explain. What I told, from day one, when I started with the festivals, trying to do festivals and various gatherings out at the city park, we have to recognize we are growing. We are not established in terms of a Conway, Antioch area over in their parking lot that people already know about, that's been going on for several years. So, again, what I call our little facility is Toad Suck Junior. At some point, we're going to grow into that. We'll close the roads down, but we want to utilize this, and the one way I felt is that, if we're not doing something like this, the park is vacant. So we're not making any money off of it anyway. And so we had something before the end of the year, 2023, of Picking in the Park, because Kelly came to me and said, there's a lot of people who want to get rid of things and so on and so forth. I even talked with someone today, and they were asking how can they get in touch with you guys, that they're wanting to, they've already hauled off a truck or two of items that they want to just give away, that they've hauled to the trash, that they would be glad to give to somebody to put out at this type of thing.
Our numbers, both numbers on multiple, social media sites, and local.
Right.
Mayflower neighborhood,
James, do we have their Picking in the Park and Farmers Market bulletin
I'm just, because I
on
haven't seen much information.
our
Is this
city
a
local?
weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, weekly?
It just started,
No, it's Easter
Easter weekend. And that's what they came to me. I don't have time to schedule all this like at one time. So both Ace and Kelly asked, would it be okay if they took the leadership role in this? I went over with Ace. I drew off all of the spots that I had. And again, you have to remember, these are not 10 by 10 spots. They're 10 by 15. And that helps out with people having their goods there. You're not just crammed up. So with that, we've got 30 some odd spots. We're going to have an additional, we're going to try to get to 50, at least 50.
And I have the park layout here.
Right,
Each spot, number.
right.
It's really time consuming.
Oh, I know. I know.
And then you got one between the both of us, you have, he's checking with me that, okay, I
Yeah.
got this, like I told him, I have this, we gotta make sure we got it right.
Right.
We'll put them in the first spot.
But the idea, though, is that this is every Saturday going forward after the Easter until we get on up into the fall, and we'll make a decision on that. We're trying to get consistency built in here. that if you don't come this Saturday, I want to come the following Saturday, to see what's out there, that there will always be something going on. And with 30-some odd vendors, there should have been some interesting things.
That, out in our county, that they can bring this business. I want people to come to us, and that's what happened to us somewhere else,
Right.
up in town. I want our town to have that business.
Well, there's also a byproduct of people coming into our town. They're going to stop and buy gas, stop and buy food. So we're going to be a beneficiary of that.
And plus, we have local businesses around here that donate, door prizes and stuff for free.
Yes.
$25 off, just stuff like that.
Right. That helps out.
We just call their name and give them a door prize.
Good, good. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. James, we want to make sure that we keep up with any new flyers, that type of thing. So, yes, thank you.
What are the hours?
The hours is 9 to 4 Saturday.
9 to 4. Yes, yes, he sent me, I've contacted him by email, and I'm going to call him tomorrow. We're going to see about getting him a place. Yes.
I haven't heard from him. I knew he was on the property.
Yeah, I've been talking with him.
This weekend, so I was,
Yeah.
I didn't know he did.
Yes,
I'm sure everybody had the information they needed to.
He sent me an email, I requested that, and I've already emailed him back, and we're going to get together this week. So we're going to find him a place. Thank you so much. I know,
And he had a, restaurant
yes,
for over 10 years.
right.
So,
Yes, we're going to find him a place. Thank you so much, Kelly and Ace. All right, next, are there any other public comments?
Kelly?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I give you this person's name? He came in today. He's gonna have strawberries. I wanted to catch her from
Yeah.
somewhere. I wanted to catch her before she left.
I want some people, but, yeah, I didn't even put any of my stuff up together, because it was so old.
Yeah. Thank you, Kelly. Any other public comments? Okay, Chief, Lieutenant. Sorry about that, Chief. Okay. Good. Yes.
I just want to let y'all know, as council members, representatives of the taxpayers of the city, the guys who aren't sitting here, the guys that are here, the girls that aren't here, we are very, very loyal and appreciative of Chief Hunter. He has done a monumental amount to live us in the right way. I would not get aggravated with any of these speeches, especially tonight, but we all know why we're here tonight and why we're having to have this conversation. Aggravating, and I said quite honestly for me that we're having to have the conversation. But I just want to reiterate that if there is anything that you have questions about, staffs, employees, equipment, anything, come to us. We can run reports, everything's on there. We can run reports on literally anything. And we as a department just ask that if we make decisions, hear rumors or whatever, that you know the truth and know the factual basis behind it. And we hold transparency of the utmost importance. And we will tell you anything and everything. If there is a problem, guarantee you will make this business. So, let's all know, not just from Chief Hunter, but from everybody who works at Ford. Come to us and we will absolutely find out.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Lieutenant. We appreciate all of you. Thank you again. Any other public comments? Okay? Please state your name and organization you're representing or
Kelly, you 7464
Yes.
Is a transitional living house for women with substance use disorder. Our mission is to establish a supportive transitional facility for individuals with substance use, opioid use disorders, empowering them to embark on a path toward a fulfilling and successful life. So this touches my heart here because I'm also a person in long-term recovery. I had 20+ years of addictions. I've been clean for almost 8. You know, when I was homeless and I was in domestic violent relationships. And, you know, when I got clean, there was nowhere for me to go. My mom was like, no, you're not coming here. I wasn't even allowed in her house or anybody that I knew. My only other option was to go back to my ex-husband who had cracked my skull and broke my hand and beat me up all the time, you know. I was going to have to go there if I didn't have a transitional living house to go to. So my heart is in this. I'm glad for it to be in Mayflower. I hope I want support from the people in Mayflower. And it's just a great thing, y'all. People are dying. I also work with Central Arkansas Drug Task Force in Searcy, and I watch people die every day. And if we can get them clean and in treatment and in a safe place to, you know, learn how to live, get their children back, get employment, get their own house, that's what we do here. We
Now,
set them up for success.
Now, when you said it's in Mayflower, let's clarify that. You're not in the city limits of Mayflower. You are in the county. And what is the location again?
162 Red Oak Drive.
Red Oak Drive, okay. And tell us a little bit about as you were telling me before the council meeting, I believe you said it was over a 17-acre,
Yes.
something of, your footprint?
Yes, it's about 17 acres. It has a pond there. It has like 6 buildings on there. 2 that we're using now and the other is 3 or 4. Okay, I got you. There's a lot of properties on this that we're hoping to get a grant to, you know, get them fixed up. Right now, we have 2 that we are using. We have 5 in and 12 available rent. She's in administration. She lives on site, so she can probably answer a few questions better than I can. But we do have 5 of them in there now. 3 of which are employed, 2 of which are on Social Security, so they won't be employed.
Are these, I know that the public in general would want a question asked, are these violent offenders? What kind of status
No,
are
sir,
they?
There's no violence, there's no sexual.
Predators or whatever?
Predators, yeah, predators. It's just like, you know,
How do you get,
possession, drugs, but we don't do the violent crimes, we don't do the sexual predators, you know, we don't do anything, you know, the big theft, we don't want that there. So it's just kind of simple drug charges.
okay. Does anyone have any questions?
Policies on there, if they're there, do they gotta stay clean?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, we do weekly drug testing. They get to pick their own path to recovery, whether it be Celebrate Recovery, Narcotics Anonymous, or Alcoholics Anonymous. Ms. Johnny here makes sure that they get to their meetings. They have to do 2 a week. They have to go to church, and they have to do groups. We have like boundaries group. We got a lady coming in on Saturday night. So we are very trusting.
So y'all have staff on site 24/7? Great. So you don't tolerate any
She
going
doesn't.
on?
She doesn't.
I believe I've read some stuff on the community
You probably
pages
did.
there.
I didn't read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems some of your neighbors are
Yes.
concerned.
Well, that's why I asked the question about, violence. People want to live in a safe environment. And when you don't know, you're going to fill that void in with, most of the time, negative information. And so that's why I was asking,
And we
to
tried
get
to
that.
have a meeting with them, it just did not go well. They had their minds set up, when they got there, they were cussing, yelling,
Yeah.
and,
Well,
they wouldn't let us get a word.
Well, we're not here to bash anyone. You asked for a few minutes to, I think this is a good thing. in terms of what you're doing. We appreciate that. And again, if you want to come back and, anything that you had mentioned you'd like to sit down and talk, about, I welcome that, and we'll go see what the next step is from that standpoint. But again, this is not in the city limits, and we have no jurisdiction over where you are. I just want to make sure that's clear that you're out in the county. But I think this is something that needs to be talked about and have a public forum here. We thank you for coming. Yeah. Good meeting y'all. Yes, thank you. All right. Any other public comments? All right. If not, the announcement, our next regular city council meeting is scheduled for 7 p.m. Tuesday, April the 23rd. Our next council workshop meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April the 11th at 6 p.m. And then our next planning commission meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April the 9th at 7 p.m. Hopefully we can have that planning commission meeting. Or we may have a lot of public joining us for that meeting. So we'll see on that. If any other comments, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Council dismissed.